Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly, along with head coach Matt Loddick. This is Todd Eichow. And Matt, this is the worst time of the year. We come to the end of the season, and obviously, as it ends this early, which is kind of unusual for Valpo basketball, ending after one game in the conference tournament, no postseason. There's obviously a lot of disappointments, and we kind of can go back and we'll look back at maybe a few of the things that transpired. But let's just start with the tournament game against Missouri State, which in many ways was sort of a microcosm of this season.
Right, close and couldn't really close the door. It's hard, and as we kind of can evaluate the totality of the year, I think we're going to look at everything. We're going to look at how's our strength and conditioning going, how's our recruiting going, how's our offense and defensive schemes, and look at individual players and what specifically we got to do to get them better. What we've done throughout the years there has been improvement. We need to get better, and everyone needs to get better. And we're going to evaluate that, ask hard questions, talk to our guys. But I think that being close just isn't good enough, and we've got to start winning close games and doing it in March, and that's the goal of the program. That's the expectation I have. That's the expectation the institution has, and I'm going to make sure it's the expectation our players have.
All right, we'll look ahead to next year, but I want to at least kind of tip our cap to what Tavon Walker showed in that second half of the game against Missouri State. And that's kind of a microcosm of his career. The toughness, never giving up, wanting to make big plays when you need them, keeping you in the game. It was a special half of basketball. That's what made it almost so sad that it came to an end. He had 22 points in the second half and made so many plays for you. And you look at the totality of his career, and he's littered up and down the record books, top 15 in so many different categories, including scoring. It's been an incredible career in which he's won a lot of basketball games, and he's been a huge part of it.
Oh man, he's and you guys didn't get to see him in the locker room afterwards. And Tavon is not a very emotional person, but the emotions got the best of him that night. And he's a special young man, and I actually just got done talking with him. We talked a little bit about kind of his next steps, and he's definitely going to pursue a pro career, and he's going to have opportunities to do that, which is going to be great. We kind of just had a heart-to-heart, and talking a little bit about the year, and the one thing that he says, Coach, if we're still in the Horizon League, we're playing in the postseason, we're winning a lot more games. He says, but I'm happy that we made the change, and a little bit surprising because it is his senior year when we have to kind of make that transition, but he's happy because he knows it's the best step for the program, and I think that's pretty indicative of who he is, his personality, and always wanting the best for others. And so Tavon's a special player, won a lot of games, left his mark on this program, and the best thing about it is I know he's going to be rooting for us moving forward.
And we're not going to slight Max Joseph because he got better year after year after year to where he became a starter by senior year. And that's kind of the rewarding of a coach. Say, hey, we helped him get better, and he became a contributor when early in his career he really wasn't.
Right, and we were pretty deep at that point too. And I think Max, maybe on some less talented teams could have played more. Think about Max as he was a no-nonsense guy too. And he wanted what was best for the team always. Max also was going to try to pursue some stuff overseas, and we're going to wish him the best and help him a lot with that. And I think if there's one word to describe Max Joseph, it's just toughness. Everything that he did, he did from a standpoint of I'm going to be tougher and stronger than you, and led a lot to success.
I've said on the air many times, I think like next year's team is going to be better. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to be better. Not only Ryan Fazekas coming in as a veteran player into the mix, two freshmen who look like they're going to come in and probably play and contribute. And then some of the younger guys certainly are going to get better. And we saw the guys progress throughout the course of the year, and there's still a chance to bring in one or two more players as well. But the one area where you've got to replace is that toughness, is the ability to grab loose balls, is the ability to really get in your face and defend, make it uncomfortable on your opponents. That's the one area where the other guys need to improve.
No doubt about it. And somewhat, toughness is innate. It's something that you can have, but our culture and the way that we're going to go about things this offseason is going to build a lot of that. And You know, we're going to be disciplined. You know, we're going to be working really, really hard to build that mentality, because you're right. You know, if there's one, you know, hole that we're going to miss, it's just the toughness provided by our two guards that are leaving. And so we're going to do our best to instill that, though.
The two key guys, two scoring guys who are coming back, the one thing I like about Bakari and Marcus, number one, they got better as the year went on. But the other thing is they're willing to take big shots. And in the Missouri Valley, we've seen it. There's going to be close game after close game after close game that's going to be decided on who can make a big shot with a minute to go in the game. And those guys are willing to do it, and they can make shots.
Yeah, they can. And you know, the thing about both of them, you're right, they both got a lot better. And I think that they have, you know, the capacity and the work ethic to continue to get better. And you know, especially Marcus Golder. I mean, when he arrived here, there were a lot of deficiencies. And kind of in closed meetings, what I've described Marcus as is just an athletic genius. And you know, you can tell that young man to do something one time, and he instantly can do that, which is really unique. And so we're excited about working with him this summer, adding some new elements to his game. But the best thing about it is he's willing to learn, and he can.
Matt, tell us about the freshman who's signed, Javon Freeman Liberty. What can we expect from him?
Well, you know, Javon, you know, actually has a lot of similar characteristics to maybe Tavon. You know, he's got good length. He's actually a little bit taller. Extremely explosive athlete. Has been putting up just monumental numbers in the Chicago Public League this year. And you know, there's been some talk that he might actually be Player of the Year in the state of Illinois, kind of depending on how the state tournament unfolds and everything of that nature. So we're getting an explosive score. The one thing that I've really noticed about him is he can really defend, but he's also a fantastic decision maker. And so his ability to get in the lane and then find shooters and find the open guys is something that we're really excited about. I mean, he can really be a playmaker.
How much do you expect from freshmen? That's always the big question. Tavon came in right away and played.
Right. Yeah.
And now you've got Javon Freeman Liberty, who's a similar player.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't come in as old a player, an experienced player as Tavon. Maybe that's the difference. But how much can you expect from a freshman?
You know, with freshmen, a lot of it is just, you know, how well can they grasp concepts. And, you know, for us, there's just a varying degree. And if you can, you know, defend and I can trust you on the defensive end consistently, Javon's going to play a ton of minutes. But, you know, if he struggles in that regard or can't pick things up, rotations and things of that nature, it can be a little tough. So with freshmen, there's always a little learning curve. You know, one thing that we know about Javon is that physically he'll be able to do it. I mean, we're talking about a player that averaged 16 points a game at the Nike Peach Jam, which, I mean, if you've ever been to the Nike Peach Jam, it's littered with, you know, high major players. You know, Marvin Bagley was in games, for instance, that I watched last year. So, and he was one of the best guards in that tournament.
The quote-unquote Chicago pipeline is something which you're from there, Manuel Dildy's from there. There's a wealth of talent, obviously, there. If you can get like one or two guys out of there, who's a top 10 player from Illinois or a top 5 kid in the city, that's a great area to go, especially being in the Valley where there's so much recruitment out of Chicago.
Right.
You're going to be recruiting against a lot of the other programs in the league.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think, you know, myself having success at the high school level in Chicago, and Emmanuel Dildy doing that as well. I mean, you know, we have a lot of inroads where otherwise it might take some people some time to get in. I will tell you that, you know, Chicago's a huge city, right? A ton of talent, but the basketball world is really small, and we're fortunate to know a lot of people in that area. And so yeah, we're going to continue to recruit Chicago, and we want to recruit those athletes to come here and represent Valparaiso University in the state of Indiana really well.
Good luck this year, Matt.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this year. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Valpo Basketball Weekly.